All right, let's start off the second part of section 5 with covering interior angles and alternate inverse angles. So if you look at this, we can see that the angle of depression right here is congruent to the angle of elevation because they are alternate interior angles. So that's going to play kind of a role in how we're going to look for angles within a right triangle. So the way we could do this is say, let's say this is angle A, and let's say this is angle B. All right, so we know that the tangent of angle A equals 20 over 100. All right, and we're just using this chart that I sent and posted on Classroom. You can use this as kind of a guide. All right. So if we were to look for angle B, what we would need to do is take and do an inverse. So we would end up saying B equals the tangent inverse of 20 over 100. All right, and if you were to put that in your calculator, you would get that angle B is 11.3. All right, that's going to play a role when we get farther down into our examples. So let's go ahead and look at example 5. And if we look at example 5, they've given us the angle of 33 degrees and a side of 5.8. So I'm just going to draw out a triangle with a right angle, and that right angle is going to be C. The side is across from it is C. Here's angle A that they're telling us is 33 degrees. And we have B up here, angle B, which means this is side B, and over here is side A. And they've given us that B is 5.8. All right, we know that angle A is 33 degrees, and we know that angle C is 90 degrees. So if we just take the inside area of a triangle, which is 180, and we subtract the angles that we have, we can get what B is. And angle B is 57 degrees. All right, so we found the measure of all angles. We're good to go there. But the only thing we need to do now is figure out what side A or side C is. Once we get one of those sides, we can use the Pythagorean theorem to find that other angle. So I'm going to use my chart, and I'm going to use the tangent of A, because the tangent of A gives you the opposite over the adjacent. All right, so let's fill in what we have. We have the tangent of A, which is 33. And we have the adjacent side, which is 5.8. I'm sorry, we have, that goes in the denominator. We don't know the opposite yet, which is A. And the adjacent goes down here, 5.8. Okay? Now, in your assignment last week, what we did was we multiplied both sides by the denominator of 5.8. So when we multiply both sides, that 5.8 cancels out, and we're left with just A over here. And then over on this side, we had to take 5.8 and multiply it times the tangent of 33. So this statement right here all goes in your calculator. And once you put that in your calculator, you end up with 3.8. So I've now found out that A is 3.8. All right, now the only thing left we need to do is use the Pythagorean theorem, and I'm going to abbreviate that as PT. All right, and we know that that is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So if we plug all that in to the Pythagorean theorem, we end up with 3.8 squared plus 5.8 squared equals c squared. All right, and if we solve that, we end up with c equals 6.9. And we have found everything we needed for measure of sides and measure of angles.